And everyone will hear the same. Everyone will hear the same. And what was that guess? You're in the divine school here, yet you forgot it. You've been caught and tricked. Yeah. You're into this, fear mode. You've lost your courage, if you ever had any. But you did, because you bond yourself, actually, when you find this out. You were sent and agreed to the conditions that were present at the time of your birth. There was an agreement there. You don't think so. You wouldn't have chosen that. Well, you did. And that just shows you how much intelligence you had then. But now is the time to fix it. Now is the time to understand self, the present moment now, peace to all beings. And once you understand the concept of peace to all beings, you move into this concept of mercy for ones that don't know. Because there's a pleasure in the understanding what mercy generates. You admit your ignorance. You do. When you ask, you mercy for those that don't know. Because if it's not given, there'll be nothing be alive, including your trees. The life of everything is around you. The death of everything is around you. But you don't understand that thing here yet. It's an arrogance. The other one picked up for you. You know the other one's name. Don't have to mention it. Because every time you do, it works closer to you. Stop. Remember the presence of the Holy Ones. Why do you not want to remember the presence of the Holy Ones? There are those that have difficulty understanding that. And it's not words. It's not words. It's divine blessings. It's peace, knowing that you're in safety. Without the arrogance of self. Even in your media now, all over, people are calling for the damage to others. When you do that, you're going to find damage to yourself. Because they're words. And you haven't even begun to understand your thought process yet. You're still stuck in words. If you could see the brilliant particles of light that are in the air all around you, and know that those things breathed within you are entities here to assist you. You're aware of some of this thing we'll call possession. Well, some entities that want to take off your body, that are not here for your benefit. Those you put into the trees so they can understand what conditions of confinement are. And then when they come out as oxygen, they have a little more respect, eventually. But you haven't even become aware of that process yet. You're not aware yet that your foods talk to you before you even buy them. Why do they do that? They're calling to heal you. Nature knows how to heal. She does. That's what she does. She heals. And people are so caught up in your diets. Well, your diet should be proper thought. That's what your diet should be. Instead of blasphemy all over, telling everyone how great you are and you haven't done anything. The concept of selfishness is extreme now on your planet. You're going to have a period of 4 months of introspection now. You're going we'll put it this way, you're going through it. You're coming out, you're in the tunnel, and some will come out to the other end into what you're doing, the light expression and still be within a body, human, physical. Many will not. And there'll be this gnashing and crying of teeth, and why me, and poor me. Well, when you go into that mode, figure out what you've done and haven't done. How close is a holy book to you? Can you put your hand on it now, stretch out and just touch it? Because touching it heals, but you don't know that yet. Just grabbing a holy book and be thankful for the holy ones that wrote it brings you the energy of peace, understanding. They are still present. You have very limiting rules here. Here's a suggestion. Find a holy book. I said holy. Holy. Put it under your pillow when you sleep. Your subconscious will understand. It won't, as a way, will read words. But what you'll really be getting is the images between the words, like a slideshow for your understanding and introduction and the presence of the chemical process within the body. And there are those that have used this for the other force, but they've convoluted their bodies. They have. You're in the process of destroying the membrane around your brain. There's another etheric force there that keeps, and it's not your skull that keeps the two halves together. It's another force. And it's the force of the Holy Spirit that's working with your bones. But you have not that idea because you don't appreciate the Holy Spirit. You're not thankful for it. You think it's you. It's not you. You can see what's going on in your streets. Your sexualities are completely confused. You do not see the animal kingdom doing what you're doing. They're expressing an intelligence that you don't have. You're working toward it. In your next 4 months, you're going to see traumatic exchange of energy. And by that I mean nature is going to respond. Nature is going to respond. You haven't been able to rely upon yourselves at all as individual units. But you're going to have to. And you're going to have to figure this thing out. And that doesn't mean take advantage of people. That means take advantage of your intelligence. Understand your now. Proceed in what you call growing up. Do something to provide for your present moment. And each now. Because there's really no future and no past. You're always present. Or supposed to be. But you're jumping around. All over. You don't know what you're doing. My suggestion is breathe. Drink plenty of water. Be thankful for your bones, because in your arms, your legs, your toes, because you're going to find out that you're a bird and you're being built that way to walk correctly. here. In the air, in other realms. There are some birds that are not too conducive to the life of the human condition. Let's put it that way. You have the ability now to understand understanding. Everyone's in this free will phase. You forgot God's will. You're in that battle. It's my body, I'll do what I want with it. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Enjoy yourselves while you're doing it. And when you ask for mercy, it probably won't be given. Because you didn't ask for peace first. You became angry and delusional with yourself and others. We have said often, you need to understand the Ten Commandments. And if you have a reaction to those two words, Ten Commandments, I suggest you check out why. The rules. For the governance of yourself only, and your spiritual destiny only you. Doesn't matter what anyone else does with it. But if you pay attention to what I'm saying, you will see the difference in yourself as you read them, and you will feel it. You will feel it. You will feel it. Because there's an admonition in there regarding sexuality, that you beings are being caught up in a dramatic way on the wrong side of the equation. Males are supposed to be males. Females are supposed to be females. You were born that way for a reason. Conditioned to be stayed that way. Yet, it's your body and you can do what you want with it, so you say. One of the clues given in the magnificence of these teachings was Psalm 6 from David in the Old Testament. Why do you think there's so much attack on the Christian religion right now? Because it's based in truth. That's why. And the liars don't like it. That's who they are. That is who they are. You just mentioned those two words, Ten Commandments, and you'll get reaction from everyone in the arc field, of course. Some will even say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Because they want a battle to prove that they're right. And you call the ownership of free will, you call it. You're going to find out that's going to go away. The only will that's going to be there is that of Father and nature. Until you can control the ocean, the water and the earth and the air, you have no will at all. You're putting all your confidence and concepts into the monies and what you have. Well, that's, you're enjoying your death daily. But you don't understand that yet. So peace to all beings and enjoy the pleasure of yourself as having a self, number one, and that self having a body, number two, and that self having a spirit, number 3. And perhaps the trinity of you can get together for the perpetuation of your consciousness, because that's what it is. Consciousness. Just consciousness. Present consciousness. Not words. Why am I using so many words? Guess. Prayer works. These speakings that I am putting out are preparations for you when you begin to sense self and the Divine One that's coming. Because when he speaks his words, everyone's going to hear it. Everyone's going to feel it. Everyone's going to react. Everyone's going to begin dizzy. Everyone will fall down. Everyone will feel nauseous and vomiting to remove the poisons within your thought self. You're already, some of you, feeling nauseous during your day. You don't know why. What happens about 2 o'clock? The solar plexus is beginning to open at 2 o'clock. You know that? Affects your jaw. Wants to get rid of some of the garbage in there. That's why your afternoon 3 should be a rest time, meditation time, sleep time if you wish. Lay down for half an hour. But you can't. Why? Because you're working. Take your lunch break at 3. You'll make it through noon. Because 1 o'clock you're going to get dizzy. 2 o'clock is the contemplation of what was that, nausea. And 3 is the contemplation of yourself, preparing for 4, when your heart begins to talk to you. Hasn't anyone ever told you that? It's been explained before. Remember, time is a direction. When you're feeling your dizziness at 1 o'clock in your afternoon, time is a direction. Center and go up. You're going to need to sit down. You want to fall down. 2 o'clock is the cleansing where you come forth with your nausea. Yeah, because the solar plexus. The only thing you can do to assist yourself is take your right index finger, put it to the solar plexus, and ask for peace to all beings. Because you're having confrontation within yourself. And then you ask for mercy within yourself, so for understanding. Listen to the tones in the air. Pleasure of your moment of self. That's the necessity. The human condition now is going around grabbing everyone else for their own little sensual pleasures. It's a sickness. Sickness. Psh. You're in coffins, not bodies. It's time to wake up. You have 4 to 5 months as these conditions begin to get more extreme. You have many people in your media calling for violence against another. You have violence in your streets against one another. You don't know what you're doing. Guess who's participating and setting all these confrontations up? You think this being is your friend? You're reacting to it. He is not your friend. He's the other one. The fallen one. And most beings don't think it happened, but it did. And it is, and you're in it. Pay attention to what is termed Medjugorje. Pay attention to Fatima. And why are you people so into this Russian thing? enemy. Did you know that Putin has the mother and Jesus in his office? Who politician in your country does? Oh, not your media. No. And look who's in your media. Look who's pushing these words onto you. Huh? Their body, they can do what they want with it. And they're trying to tell you the same thing. Pay attention to your divinity. You're born here in this time for a reason. 2017 is the year of becoming. You're in it. You know it. You can feel it. 10 Commandments, Psalm 6. And pay particular attention to the 10th verse of Psalm 6. Because that's where you ask for permission. You ask your enemies to be ashamed suddenly. And shame is a big thing in the astral in those worlds. It's a protection for you. And to suddenly let it overcome them, not you. There's 10 commandments. 5 are for the left side of the body and 5 are for the right. I'll let you figure that out. And there's only 10 verses in Psalm 6. So you have 20 instructions. Just 20. 20 clues, 20 processes, just 20. If you read them, you will know what I'm talking about. And when you figure out which 5 of the commandments are for which side, 5 for one side and 5 for the other, you'll figure out yourself being in the middle when you read Psalm 6. David gave that. But beings don't appreciate the masters that came before you. Solomon asked for wisdom. I suggest you do the same. For the protection of yourself and your understanding. When the right side of your brain starts becoming more prevalent, in other words, you feel energy there, there's a tendency to arrogance. You need to calm it down. You need to move to the left a little bit, ask for peace to all beings. And you're going to find out that one side of your brain is feminine and the other side is masculine. And the middle portion within you is the hermaphrodite, the one that's aware of all things. And you unite with what you call the entity called Mercury, who's the messenger. Especially, as you say, of the gods. And Logos is the word, it's beginning the first. But before the word, there's more. The word was with God. Understand these things, and you will have a better understanding of the presence of yourself and what you're doing in the concept called time now. Because it's moving upward. Your planet literally is entering a higher vibrational frequency. Why? Because you're poisoning your oceans. You're killing creatures indiscriminately in your ignorance, but you know it, you don't care. You move from living simply to living extravagantly, and you can't do anything about it. All these beings in their fancy, what you call, temples. They can't feed themselves. They don't know how. Fortunately, they are stores. Yeah? Soon to end. Blessings and peace to all beings. Remember yourself. 10 Commandments. Psalm 6. 5 commandments for one side of the body, 5 for the other side of the body. We will say 5 for one side of the brain and 5 for the other side of the brain. And Psalm 6 is the center portion of your being can unite your consciousness of you, that you have an idea that you might be able to do something. That's how it's working. You're in the presence of it now. When space shakes, look at the time on your clock. 3 o'clock is precious. 4 is heart chakra. Blessings to all beings. We are through.